Again, Emma Kisieja being a press conference about 2-3 things. The reason why our press conference in United say Attorney General actual letter Ekoma Kisieja being after Kisieja being actual letter comma at a office of the president through the chief of staff's office say, oh here a way or a green light to go and bring Ken Ofori in. And a chief of staff can say enye me juma a Attorney General juma. And Attorney General actual letter comma Kisieja beka che Kisieja being. You know something? Ye nyoma be mienu miensa pe firi ho. Ye nsaka sa nyoma na whatever assistance you were asking from the Jubilee House, no, we have it. We will give you to extradite Ken Ofori to Ghana. That's it. And nyoma be na eye Attorney General ebusa Kisieja being. Obusa no ka chen say 1 or say offer a copy of the docket in its current state. Onfambre eye dien or no Attorney General. Okache and say, baby, why investigations need rubiano? For sa investigations, no, docket, no, documenting in for breme. Or see, baby, I would rubia. So it did not matter where Kisieja being investigations they do. 2, or say an investigative report. Or say investigative report. So, baby, why ye rubiano? Sa and also no fabra. Now, onim say, sa report inconclusive. The investigations and the investigative report or say for our investigators account to assist him to look into it, and if they have to complete it together and take the next step. So all that we as Ghanaians through the Attorney General we were asking investigative report, dockets, and adding 2 investigators to go and conclude everything with the Attorney General. That's all. Eti na Kisieja being na ye hia Kisieja being to come and tell us the obeka ninja. But let me open your mind on something. Ehona mi wi na ma kire azan Kisieja being here and there. You cannot trust him because he's playing Ghana. He has taken $50.5 million. He still cannot account for the $50.5 million. He still cannot account for it. Now, Shadebi and they see, let me read a few of the things he spoke about today. Now, so we study Kisieja means some of the kind in the or say we start investigations be. I mean, bought the top from Ghana for. Now investigations, no. Can Ofori ne abamu ni pebi ete company bi. Now mo take company no. Na company no. Sebio enkrata ni nyira so a e wo se omutumi di dwuma bi e de den ejeje Ghana revenues. Sa company Ken Ofori mo te ye no. I mean, bought the top from PZ for. Also mo te company bi a omo de be kire PPA say oh company we de omo ye ne say omo boa e ma ban etumi jeje eto ni yie. Enti sa company ni Ghana Revenue Authority ye dwuma bebi a yejeje yeto nyina afri no ye betuma jeje eto no ekwan so a ebe ye hyew a emu bedawa Ghana benya sika dodo. Na time Ken Ofori de sa company ni ko kire eye PPA no PPA ka say sa company we eni ngina so eni experience eni de kire say betuma di sa dwuma de no. Na sa time Ken Ofori eye sa de no na company bi wo hodada edi sa dwuma no ma Ghana sa company no 2015 and almost started di sa dwuma no. Now de na won wa wo mu nyina ne say Ken Ofori first company no de koye no ohun say yanje antum no PPA or the corner yanje antum no and osako change company ni din o ma ni pe bi sa change company ni din ebe na SML. Now they see and say onim say SML no omuni experience biem omuni experience sa nyoma na omude call PPA procurement public procurement authority ye deny say ye do for contract no no Ken Ofori na onim say sa new company na was a rebranding no old one a we rebranding no onim say ekoho a omesa pam no into the oye and say company na ene Ghana Revenue Authority GRA eye adwuma eboa ma ye gege eto no every different avenues government institutions e de ekoto ye no oma oni GRA mpenifo ne ka omuti bon ho ena omo force company ne say oni new company na what na any experience no engineer sa companies ne kon ho na se bi omo so engigi sika omo gege eto di bi. Remember Ghana mrane kire say e was a PPA ema wo ho kwan say company bi kurampo ebenya contract bi a eya ban contractor eya nipa oya GRA boss no entumi for ono ane pe ema sa company the contract Ken Ofori nim sa nti ene GRA boss for no mo nim sa nti de omo ye ene say omo ka say eye company na 2015 na omo contractor also omo jeje eto na ye rekoto yie no omo ka say sa company no omo force ne say omo for the contract ni bi e ma Kenoforiata company no na omo so engina no kon ho na omo jeje sika ni bi na nyame ompe bone na sa company na omo ne aban eye adwuma dada no na omo contract na ebe end na de wan say omo force ye e de Kenoforiata company no esi sa company no kon ho Atiasie ena na omo so edi dwuma na emfa emrakwa in fact sa company na omo ye dwuma pa na ye de Kenoforiata company na si omo kon so omo ngi sika ni bi no sa company na omo mpene so but eye GR mpenifo omo ba ya andekufo ado omo nyina ne Kenoforiata ka omo ti bon ho ena omo de sa company na share eye company dada no kon so by force oni omo nya dwuma now de na ehu awasem nyina mu ne say ekonenim no sa company na sebio omo di dwuma ansana Kenoforiata yes ye force the company abeshom kono omo contract na expire and this a company the contract expire that means say Kenoforiata company na esisa company ni kono automatically omo the company na also omo free contract nim nanso de na wan say Kenoforiata company na ye de share company ni kono say ono na ngigi sika no sa company ni contract na expire no Kenoforiata company de contract na expire omo the contract na ema Kenoforiata company na PPA for nim Ghana ban nim parliament nim ena GR mpenifo ne Kenoforiata tena ase ena omo term contract no edema Kenoforiata company na company dwumadie be na omo di so wo hwe dwumadie omo di ne potia na Ghana eto a ye gigi no wo mbiambia te se airport temaport eye immigration sa eto na ye gigi no wo nyina no omo na omo wo eye enusuade hu a omo tumi de gigi sa eto no nyina yie eleto yie ma ye rekoto Bank of Ghana now didim bedum pempenso bi ehun say eye GR mpenifo ni nyina ne Kenoforiata ka omutiri bon ho ena na omu use sa company we illegally ena omu de gi Ghana eto no etua Kenoforiata de the company ne ka bobre a odisika fa ho enti sa wode wani tum pa na wo hwa Kenoforiata ege contract no illegally company ni illegal impenifo mo man ho kwan man run it company no enyina no enso were part of the illegality ena na omuwiaye enti eye OSB so beka kire nde ni nyina no brofo tintin ni nyina no na o ka kire say Kenoforiata ene nipa bi ene ball kro no eno ano no en ade we ya ade a OSP aka kire dadaada yenim enya ade foforo enti ende so wo ko check eye news talking point na you see this after the name change from SMEL first company na Kenoforiata de koya na yanja tum no near from SMEL owie no ko change din ya na SML after the name change from SMEL to SML the revenue assurance contract was taken from West Blue Ghana Limited and awarded to the newly incorporated firm into West Blue Ghana Limited no omo ni company a na sebio omo ho kwan se omo gigi sa eto no but Kenoforiata de SMEL koya na yanja tum no osabe yi ni firo eno de SML ba ya oni GR mpenifo e de eye contract no by force omo de be see West Blue for kon ho say mo by force mo de Kenoforiata enye adwuma we afi what you say now after that no they see and say when in sama OSP beka kire ye nim ni nyina dada ensam foforo bi amaye I am trying to give you an idea of azan any lies papa we be twa kire mo ne I see GRA and SML deal was a masterful and mischievously crafted scheme by Kenoforiata. I see sa GRA omni SML for deal na omu cookie no na eyadia omu tina ho etwinwene ni ye edisisi kwemu a omu yoma se omu bomu tribu po ewia Ghana ska. This is not new. This has been there already. The first press conference o kan sansem we nyina rundown nyina maaye. Enti this is not new. And then obetna ho enda kan 2 hours no. Now, Special Prosecutor Sakachere say over 1.4 billion was paid to SML without proper monitoring or evaluation. It's the main thing in say at the end of the day, Attorney General can say Sanyoma we nyina fa breno in its current form. But my main show tricky be. On say Special Prosecutor Ekasande no. So what study SML for no ejuma also mo yankasa. Yes, so mo yede bibi a friend of revenue assurance. That means say juma na Kenoforiata ejuma kuo no edi nyina no say yeto no omo begege no kwan paso show so send a chronubian bema ye betumenya enough eto revenue e dia to se o mine so we study a special prosecutor and some can nyina started from 2017 all the way to 2024. Now baby a SML4 edi sika pa no between 2017 and 2020. Now you see Kenoforiata company na was say company na a revenue assurance yet for na omutumi gigi. Now Kenoforiata sa avenues are not ogigi etuo ni nyina through SML no. There was a way he was supposed to get his money. Now he couldn't take the money from those places. He needed to follow the money and take his commission before the money ends up at Bank of Ghana. Remember, yajiji Ghana 20 nyina free port. Tema yajiji ni nyina free ni nyina end up at Ghana Commercial Bank. Edu Ghana Commercial Bank pe entina ho na akọ Bank of Ghana. Ewura Bank of Ghana and one consolidated accounts edem. Now, Kenoforiata knew say, or yes, say you nyina illegally wajiji etuo ni nyina na baby a obeji etuo bia the commission that so through the SML company no. So he needed to chase the money. Now, ojiji etuo ni nyina no in 2020, sa sika na your friend revenue ni nyina no ekodi Ghana Commercial Banker. Na Ghana wa accounts be your friend the slip accounts. Se sika ni nyina revenue ni nyina koduru ho na revenue na eden a slip ko na akoto Bank of Ghana. Muka ese 2020. Mebeka kire mo say. Sa expose we am yen in 2020. Meka kire mo say. Eye 52 billion. Every Ghana Commercial Bank. Na sa sika na Auditor General, former Auditor General Dumelivo ye no. Sa sika na Bank of Ghana na nka wo say e free ho. Eko Bank of Ghana no 52 billion, 52.5 billion was missing. Yehu be a fire. Now, so we read the Auditor General's report now or trophy as there is a particular place it will give you a sense why Kenoforiata's name or the finance minister's name was mentioned. Mamencho. And it's not Kenoforiata episode or a revenue assurance contract. No, he knew what he was doing. Or did revenue in area? He would chase the money all the way to Bank of Ghana, Ghana Commercial Bank. Take his cut before the money slips into Bank of Ghana. It will read a transfer of tax revenues by GCB to unknown source. So you see the unknown source. Now read here. Letter no was the 5th of October 2020. Now akabe 2 months near Kotwaba. 52 billion, 52.5 billion. A rai. Yehu. A SML the fast askano. And it's be seen there. Omubuso say. Sikana fahin almost say unknown source. Kenoforiata SML. And an revenue assurance no. Gigi revenue now. Because Kenoforiata wanted a way to be able to get close to the money. He only needed to build that what we call special purpose vehicle in the name of SML. The moment he puts that company together, that company is in charge of revenue assurance. It will make him as the finance minister, it will give him the opportunity to follow the money. Now he's not following the money in the interest of Ghana. Kenoforiata is following the money in the interest of SML. But because he's the finance minister, when he talks to Ghana Commercial Bank, they need to listen to him. It is as he can do Ghana Commercial Bank, no. So we read the Auditor General's report now. Ubehu Bebia, a man who said Kenoforiata took that money in the name of SML because of call it revenue assurance. Revenue assurance, no, and the springboard. Or the propeller etumi manikunya saskano. Into here, Regulation 12 of the Financial Administration Regulation FAR 2004 stipulates, and I quote, Auditor General dinkan koti emra nipa sikani kodi ninsem no wafom ansana waka diesi. Into check findings now. Paragraph 1. Or say a person entrusted with custodial duties of public and trust monies shall protect public and trust monies against the unlawful diversion from their proper purposes and against accidental loss, and locate such money so as to facilitate the efficient and economical discharge of public financial business. End of quote. Auditor General will say, answer no be audit be odin kan quote to act na kire say the aban sika sha wonsem na so wan hweso ye na e wo se bebia wo se kona anko a emra ane ubedi. Now who read this second paragraph now? Eho and a child say SML Kenoforiata edi eche no kwaji 52 billion no. Into we study paragraph 2 now. This is what it says. Mami enlarge paragraph 2 now. It will be easy for us to read. Over here. You see the paragraph 2? Let's read it together. The Ministry of Finance, in its quest to improve government revenue, engaged your service for the collection of tax revenue across the nation. Into Auditor General can say, Ghana Commercial Bank, the Ministry of Finance, in its quest to improve government revenue, engage your services for the collection of tax revenue across the country. To ascertain the integrity of the banking arrangement, we conducted a reconciliation of the flow of funds from the transit accounts into the designated Bank of Ghana holding accounts. Our examination of the transit account bank statement in relation to tax revenue showed that your bank, contrary to agreement for the funds to be transferred into designated Bank of Ghana holding account, transferred a total of 52.5 billion into unknown sources over the under review. The table below provides a summary of type of revenue transferred to unknown sources. The table below provides the summary of type of revenue transferred to unknown source, the details of which is provided in our web. Where I want you to pay attention is the second paragraph, the 2 lines. The Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance, in its quest to improve government revenue, engaged your service for the collection of tax revenue across the nation. It is not in the place of the Finance Ministry to engage Ghana Commercial Bank or any a revenue collection agency in collecting revenues. It is for Finance Minister to engage Ghana Commercial Bank. The Finance Minister was chasing that revenue. And Nitina Dumelivo Busa almost say, what is the Finance Ministry doing in this transaction? Because collect all the revenue, dump it at Ghana Commercial Bank, let it slip into Bank of Ghana. Why is the Finance Minister following? Because it's not the duty, the responsibility of the Finance Minister to follow the money and ensure that revenue mobilization and collection is effective. No, the Bank of Ghana, Ghana Commercial Bank, and the revenue authorities, Ghana Revenue Authority, they have to coordinate with Ghana Commercial Bank to send that money to Bank of Ghana. But in this report, the Finance Minister, the Finance Ministry, which was led by the Finance Minister Kenoforiata, led the charge. Into eho, and an ebusom say 52 billion. Where did it end? And I'm saying unknown source. Where is the unknown source? The unknown source in 2020 was SML. So you see, it is a study. Now, when you look at the revenue that came in, her revenue now, SML, you see, this is the document. Let me show you. When you read the oh, I'm sorry, it just disappeared. Oh man, okay, my away. Now, when you read the document, this is what you see. These are the revenues I'm collecting at the end of the day. Kenoforiata disappear into the unknown source. The Finance Ministry was following the revenue. Why? Why should the Finance Minister be following revenue that has been collected, which automatically has to go to Ghana Commercial Bank? What was his reason for following that money? The reason for following that money was because his SML at that time were the ones collecting the revenues, and he knew that his share was in there. He had to go there as the Finance Minister, acting as in charge of the ministry, to take 52.5 billion Ghana cedis. Now, IRS direct transit, IRS nkwa omo number of transactions 1,180. Sika na omo fire 17.4 billion. VAT indirect 18 billion. VAT communication service transit account 107 million. SEPS GC net revenue the also 10 million. EPI customs account 1 billion. SEPS petroleum. So these were all the revenues SML boy and Kenoforiata followed it all the way to Bank of Ghana Ghana Commercial Bank and took the money. And Interna Auditor General Dumelivo Ebusa Ofori Atta any Ghana Bank say Obusa Ghana Commercial Bank say what was the finance ministry? What is their role in this? What is their role? Because so kind second paragraph now, it made it clear say the Ministry of Finance in its quest, it is in the ministry's quest, the Ministry of Finance in its quest to improve government revenue engaged your services for the collection of tax revenue across the country. So study the ministry, at the end of the day, is not supposed to be involved in this. The finance ministry is not supposed to be involved in this. But because Ofori Atta wanted to enter Ghana Commercial Bank, he knew that he had to take his cut. SML had to take their money. That money that went to Ghana Commercial Bank, 52 billion, went to unknown source. Till date, we are asking, unknown source, anything. The former Ghana Commercial Bank manager, that man who was the manager there, is supposed to tell us where that 52 billion went. That man is supposed to be picked up by Yoko. He needs to answer those questions. That the unknown source, where is the unknown source? Unknown source near Himfa. And here unknown source no. You need to for Ghana revenue now at Commercial Bank to just transfer it to Bank of Ghana, and you tell us say the money went to unknown source. The man who was the head of Ghana Commercial Bank needs to answer question because the Krobia man kasa man ko jail. Yoko needs to invite that man, bring this document out and say, under your watch, 52.5 billion of Ghana money revenue went to unknown source. Can you elaborate? How did it get to unknown source? Who and who were in charge of the money? When the money came or the money dropped at Ghana Commercial Bank, who signed it? Who were the people in charge to make sure the exact money that came from the revenue collection agencies, it's not tampered with and that it goes through to a Bank of Ghana? So who tampered with the money? And what the unknown source is where?